Welcome to Ask and Learn.
This question we are asked to write a pseudocode for a function generating a random pseudo-random numbers using linear congruence. So the pseudocode is kind of like a code in programming, but it's not exactly readable by the program. It just make the flow easily understandable to human. So don't worry too much about pseudocode thing. Just try to understand the process of generating pseudo-random numbers. That will be more important. So first we have to decide what kind of variables we are putting in the code, the program. So we will have the first term, first number, and modulo we are using, and these two are just variable to make the randomness happen. So obviously we are going to use this formula that you probably know from this topic, from the text mod M. So depending on A and C, the sequence of number we get may be may looks more random or less random depending on A and C. So a good choice of A, C, and actually M as well. A good choice of these three variables will create a sequence that looks really like a random numbers. So hence pseudo random. If you choose it poorly, then it will just repeat that after, suppose it repeated after 4 numbers, then it's a bad choice because that it does not appear as random at all, right? It just repeat the 4 numbers. So these variables are actually very important, but we don't have to choose them now, so it's fine. And the program will look something like this. We start with I as our counter. So I is counter. We start with 0 and we put the formula in, right? We assign the value for xi plus 1 as our formula axi plus c mod m. And now if we want it to be a program that show the result, we put some command saying write xi down and then increase I and goes on and on. So what we get, we're gonna get x0, x1, x2, go on and on, right? And each one gonna have value depending on the previous one by this formula. But there is one aspect that I think if you are doing pseudocode, uh, that I think you have to put in place as well. Some people might just end up with just this code, but you really need a program to stop. Like in a real world, it cannot go on forever. But if you write just like this into a computer, it will generate infinite, like it try to generate infinite numbers because we just tell them to do this, not when to stop. So I like to put some constraint on it, like why I is less than, I know, depending on how long you want it, 100 maybe. If you put this in place, controlling this whole process, then we're gonna generate up to x100 and then we stop. It is quite important in real programming, but in this case the process here is just this part, and yeah, there is nothing too complicated about it. So I don't know why they asked us to write pseudocode, honestly, but hey, it's a question. So that's how you do it. Just understand the linear congruence is enough, in my opinion. The pseudocode thing is how to apply it to programming, which may or may not be useful. That is it for this video.